Hey everybody, G4 Video 5 here, and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto 3. In this part, we will be completing Marty Chonks' missions.
The name's Chonks, Marty Chonks. I run the bitchin' dog food factory around the corner. I got money troubles, but hey, who doesn't, right? I'm meeting my bank manager later. He's a crooked bastard that keeps bumping up the loan repayment so he can cut a slice. Take my car, pick him up, and bring him back here. I got a little surprise for that blood-sucking leech.
So that is our introduction to Mr. Marty Chonks, who is a bit of an interesting character, I think, because his missions aren't even marked on the radar, which is the only time in the Grand Theft Auto series that this happens. So the only indication that these missions are available to you after completing the mission for Luigi called Drive Misty for Me is that there's going to be a payphone ring across the street from Joey Leone's garage. So I remember as a kid, I heard this payphone ringing as I was trying to do some missions for Joey, and I walked over and then I activated this mission, which was really, really cool, but unfortunately, these missions are kind of boring.
Oh, Mr. Chonks sent you, did he? Let's go and pay the fellow a visit.
So like I was saying, unfortunately I find Marty Chonks' missions to be fairly boring, and the reason is because of two things. First off, these are all very tutorial-heavy missions, which makes sense because it's the early game of Grand Theft Auto 3, so it's very reasonable for Rockstar to put in a mission strand that revolves around very basic concepts. I mean, that's just something I'm gonna have to get over, so I completely understand that, but the second thing is that these 4 missions that we do for Marty are just the same thing copy and pasted 4 times.
Get your hands off me arm!
Oh, press F to pay respects to the Mr. Banker there. But yeah, the copy and pasted thing I was talking about mainly revolves around the first 75% of these missions, where you begin at the bitchin' dog food factory, and then you enter one of the vehicles that Marty has laying out for you. You use that vehicle to pick up the person that Marty is talking about during the opening cutscene of whatever mission you're doing, and then you bring that person back to the bitchin' dog food factory to have a cutscene like that play out, and then the concept changes during the final 25% of the mission, where in the case of this mission, we have to go to the car crusher to dispose of this vehicle. So, you may have noticed on our drive over to the car crusher that I had the camera facing behind the perennial, and the reason for it is because it's a way of ensuring that no traffic spawns in front of the vehicle that we're driving, as long as we are driving above a snail's pace. And the way it works is that the game thinks that whatever the camera is looking at is what is in front of the player. So, under normal circumstances, we enter a vehicle, we start driving it, and the camera is facing forward, so the game spawns vehicles accordingly, which would be a normal situation. However, if we make it to where the camera is facing behind us, then the game is going to think what is behind us is actually in front of us, when, in reality, it's still behind us, you know? So it's basically a way of telling the game that, hey, spawn things behind us instead of in front of us, so we don't have to worry about swerving in and out of traffic.
I hired some thieves to break into my apartment and steal some stuff so I could claim on the insurance, as you do. The thieving bastards are threatening to tell the insurance company if I don't give them a cut. Can you believe it? I left the car inside the factory gates. Use it to go pick them up from their turf in the red light district. Then bring them back to the factory so I can make them see Marty's point of view.
So there's an interesting tidbit of information that Marty says to us during that cutscene, and honestly, it could just be me looking too deeply into things and being overly pedantic about word choice and whatnot, but you know, it's fun to speculate about potential things that could have been changed before the game was released and all that good stuff. So what we're focusing in on here are the 2 thieves that we have to pick up during this mission, and the word choice of turf in the red light district in regards to the location of these 2 thieves. So that wording would kind of imply that these thieves belong to some kind of gang, and the only gang in the red light district is the Diablos. But as you can see, those thieves were just the normal thief pedestrian models. There's nothing special about them whatsoever. So it kind of makes you think that, maybe the Diablos were supposed to be involved in this mission at some point, because we don't even go to the red light district. We go to Chinatown to pick up these guys. We end up going to the red light district in a few moments, but it's not for picking up the thieves. So it leaves you scratching your head a little bit. And like I said, it's fun to speculate about this type of stuff, that maybe at one point during the development of this game, the Diablos could have been involved in this mission.
Easy there, partner. Whoa! Put it down. Come on, put it.
Ooh, rip in pepperonis to those two thieves there. Yeah, but the game wants us to get the car resprayed to get rid of any evidence, which seems like we would have to do something a bit more drastic than just get a fresh coat of paint if we wanted to get rid of evidence of those two thieves ever being involved in our business. But I don't know, maybe the Sentinel is just too valuable in Marty's eyes, so maybe we need some help in seeing Marty's point of view, because this probably wouldn't cut it under most circumstances. But the idea is that we're getting more exposure to the paint spray, which we already have in a mission for Luigi called Don't Spank My Bitch Up, in which we resprayed that stallion, which was kind of cool. And something that I really appreciated about the pan spray is that not only could you use it to get rid of your wanted level or repair your vehicle, but if your vehicle happened to be in tip-top condition, like how it was in our situation, then you actually wouldn't get charged for using it, and you can use it over and over again to respray your vehicle to whatever color you wanted. So as a kid, I would constantly respray whatever vehicle I was using to be red, since red is my favorite color. So, there's a fun fact for you. But anyways, we've dropped this Sentinel off, and as you can see, I left the door open when I got out of it. And the way you do that is just by holding down the down directional button. So that way when he exits the vehicle, he moves downwards instead of spends time closing the door. Yeah, that's exactly right, Hawaiian shirt guy. I really shouldn't be laughing at that dude, because even though those sounded like sounds of ecstasy, it was really much more serious than that, so yeah, I don't know. But the thing about the Sentinel is that by having Claude move away from the vehicle without closing the door, that allows you to re-enter it, because if the door closes on this specific Sentinel, then the door will be locked. But by doing this little tactic here, by using your safe house's garage, you can actually re-enter the Sentinel. So you saw the door was locked, but once the car is parked inside of the garage and the garage door closes and then reopens, that allows you to get back into the Sentinel. So if you wanted a Sentinel for whatever reason that is not special whatsoever, then you can use this tactic to secure one for yourself.
The business is gonna go under unless I get a hold of some serious cash soon. My wife has an insurance policy, and all she's ever been to me is a hole in my pocket. I've left the car in the usual place. Go and pick up my wife from Classic Nails and bring her back to the factory.
So the high-class scumbaggery continues here, as it seems Marty wants to kill his wife to collect insurance money. And, it's pretty damn low what's going on here. Not that it was very high to begin with. It's always been pretty damn degenerate. But, I don't know, it's just getting worse and worse. And Claude's condoning this behavior. He's not saying no, which he's a silent protagonist, so, he's not really ever going to say much of anything. But, he could walk away from the payphone, he could walk away from these missions, but I guess they just pay too well enough for him to, not resist the urges. But anyways, don't let the Esperanto pushing that taxi fool you. This Esperanto is an awful vehicle.
Marty wants to see me? Well, it better be quick, because I have to get my hair done.
So it's kind of funny, because right now it's 16:45, which translates to 4:45 p.m., and the dialogue makes sense. She's saying that she needs to get her hair done or whatever. But if you were, for whatever reason, doing this mission later in the day, or if the mission just took you that long to get the Classic Nails to where you're pushing the in-game time late into the night, and let's say it's, I don't know, 2200, which is 10 p.m., then she'll still have that same dialogue. So if you're picking her up at 10 p.m. and she's saying that she needs to get her hair done, I mean, it's like, lady, what the hell's going on here? You could just wait until tomorrow morning to get your damn hair done. You don't have to do it right now.
Hattie! Stop!
Ooh, rip in pieces, Mrs. Chonks. Yeah, so what we have to do now is dump this Esperanto into the ocean. Now, there's plenty of water behind us nearby in Portland Harbor, but I'm not going to go to that nearby water source. What I'm going to end up doing is heading to Chinatown, because I like showing this off, where in Chinatown, there's a giant water source that's next to a large cluster of pedestrians who spawn in. And like I was showing off in the first part of this LP, pedestrians will react to exploded vehicles in some capacity. They'll either run away from the exploded vehicle, or they will run towards the exploded vehicle's carcass to, I guess, look at it to see what happened. So we have this section where you park the Esperanto, you push it in, and as it's in the water, its health decreases and explodes. So now we wait for pedestrians to start running in. We had that pedestrian just take a nosedive, and then you get this chain reaction where now pedestrians are going to react to the pedestrian who just died from drowning themselves, and it just keeps on going a lot of the time. So you have that guy falling, and hey, it's Mrs. Chonks' character model. She's back from the dead just to die again, so that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, this can go on all day, so we'll cut it here.
Okay, we make a deal.
Damn, I'm in trouble. Turns out my wife was seeing some guy I owe money to. He's got real angry, and he's looking for payback. I've agreed to see him. He thinks I'm gonna pay him off, but my guess is Liberty's dogs are gonna get yet another flavor this month.
Oh, that's some interesting dialogue at the end of the cutscene there, because Marty says, Liberty's dogs are gonna get yet another flavor this month. And it implies that these people he's been killing, he's also been turning into dog food. I mean, this guy's just cutting corners everywhere to make a profit. And it makes you wonder, is he killing them by turning them into dog food? Or does he kill them first and then turn them into dog food? You know, it raises questions here, but it's probably best that we don't actually know. Ignorance is bliss and all that. Because it would probably be very graphic to watch. So, yeah, let's just move on past that topic now. This guy that we have to pick up has some real rat bastard qualities about him. I'm not a fan.
Marty sent you, huh? Okay, I'm gonna show that creep the meaning of the word business.
See, there's some real sinisterness in his voice. So it's like, couldn't you imagine this guy sitting in the corner of his apartment with a hunchback and, you know, eating a block of cheddar cheese or something?
Watch it! Damn! You crazy idiot!
Carl, hi. I need more time to get your money. But if you just step into my office,
It's far too late for that, Marty. You had your chance, but now I'm taking over the business. All right!
So now Marty's reign of terror is over in Liberty City, and Carl now owns the Bitchin' Dog Food Factory, apparently. So there's a nice trick you can do to get a lot of shotgun ammo from Carl. And what you want to do, because you can see he was walking around with a shotgun right there, is you want to aggro him by punching him. From there, he's going to fire off his final shotgun shot at you. So once that shotgun has been depleted, he will start punching you like a normal pedestrian. So once you kill him, he will still end up dropping a shotgun, except that shotgun will have 25 shots in it for some reason. So when you pick it up, it gets added to your current amount if you have any, and if you don't, well, now you have a shotgun that has 25 shots in it. Now what happens if you do not get him to fire off that last shotgun shotgun shot before you kill him is that when you kill him, he's going to drop a shotgun that only has one shot in it. Yeah, so lots of shots going around here, and not the good kind of shots either, not the kind that makes your funny bone feel all tingly. Yeah, but anyways, so there's a nice shot of Marty Chonks and his unique purple hat and mustache combination. So, yeah, that completes this part. In the next part, we will be tackling Joey Leone's missions, so until then, I will see you next time.